What up, peeps? It's your boy Heckin Steve. Welcome back to the channel, and today is release day for the Switch 2, which I do have my Switch 2 right here, and these are my first impressions. So, first thing, this thing feels way better to hold just raw, like no case, no grip. If you can see right here with my OLED Switch, I got this little grip off of Amazon because when you just use it raw over a long period of time, it just makes your hand feel uncomfortable. I think because it's just so thin. So it's actually a good thing that they beefed it up a little bit in the thickness on the Switch 2 as far as holding that sucker. So I don't know if I'll get a case for it. And I don't really leave the house with my handhelds. So I'm not really worried too much about getting it damaged. Other than holding it right now in this awkward situation. So there you go. There's the OLED next to the Switch 2. So it's a lot larger. Didn't realize there were so many fingerprints on my OLED. And, the screen, the screen is an LCD, But man, it just looks beautiful. Even when you hold it up side by side with the Switch, the OLED Switch, you probably won't be able to tell on the screen. Not really, no. But I mean, it looks pretty damn good. So far I'm not really missing the OLED aspect. And let me talk a little bit about the midnight release and how that went. But also, man, taking these things and doing this, it's just, I don't know, man. It's the little things, I guess. But I thought it was pretty cool. So, today is Thursday. Last Sunday, I went up to GameStop and I was talking to the assistant manager there. And I was like, hey, so for the midnight release, are you guys doing the thing where, you come in at like 10 o'clock, like 2 hours before release, and do like a pre-ring up kind of thing? That way, once midnight hits, you just hand everybody their stuff and they can leave fairly quickly. Because that's how it used to be when I worked at GameStop. And he was like, I don't think we're doing anything like that. And then he said, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that show up for the midnight release. It's during the week. People have to work. Like, he literally said that to me, and I was thinking in my head, and he's probably going to watch this video too, because he's a fan of the channel. I was thinking in my head, dude, you have no idea what's about to go down. Yeah, so there were over 100 people, easily over 100 people in line for this thing. I showed up about 11:15. And there's GameStop, then there's two stores, and then there's a Dollar Tree. So it's a pretty big strip. And by the time I got there, the people were already in front of the second store. So GameStop, store number 1, store number 2, that's where they were. And I went and I stood in line for 10 to 15 minutes. And I was just thinking to myself, dude, this is useless. Why stand in line right now? It's not moving. You're just basically standing here. And there was a couple of people in line talking about their concert days, and I'm just sitting there thinking, man, I don't want to be a part of this. So, as you guys know, I'm not really a big crowd guy, and standing in line can induce anxiety for me as well. I didn't get any anxiety. I got out of there just in time. But I went back to my car, and I sat in there with the AC rolling and sat comfortably, and another buddy of mine that was coming to the midnight release ended up parking right next to me. So we just kind of hung out and talked from car to car for an hour and 40 minutes, from 12 to 1:40 in the morning. That was when the line, because after I went and sat in my car, the line got all the way in front of the Dollar Tree. So it was like I said, 100 and something people. Well, we got out of the car about 1:35, 1:40-ish in the morning. Actually, it might not even been that long, because I got back home around 2. So we got out once the line was back in front of GameStop. And then, from there, it took about 10 to 20 minutes to get in there, get our stuff, and then get out of there. So yeah, a little slow there on the midnight release. Kind of dampened some of the excitement, but still excited to be a part of it. Got everything without a hitch. Got home and did the whole transfer between the OLED and the Switch 2. And the first game that I tried on the Switch 2 was Minecraft. And I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently, mostly on the PC because it ran like shit on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's 100% playable on the Switch, don't get me wrong. But it's like 720p, 30 FPS, maybe it's 1080, I don't know. But the draw distance on it is piss poor, and it's just not ideal. So the first game that I played on the Switch 2 was Minecraft, and I did play it docked, and that sucker was 4K, 60 FPS, draw distance, amazing. It was equally as good as playing it on the computer, if not better. Apparently, I've been playing it on the computer without HDR on, because the lighting and the shadows were definitely better on the Switch 2. So then after that, I downloaded the GameCube, the NSO GameCube stuff, and I played Soul Calibur 2, and as you would expect, ran flawless, at least 60 FPS. My monitor is only 60 FPS, and it was definitely in 4K. If it wasn't, I mean, it still just looked amazing. I mean, I didn't do a stat check or anything like that. I was just kind of raw experiencing it, you know what I mean? But yeah, as far as I know, it definitely was in 4K, and it ran amazing. I was kicking ass as Keelik, which is my favorite character in Soul Calibur 2. And then, yeah, I think it took about all night for it to download all of my game data, because I had a lot of digital games on my OLED. And so, yeah, I got up this morning and everything was downloaded. The downloads go a lot faster on the Switch, too, by the way. I think it's because of the storage that they use. I don't think the OLED was slow because of the internet connection on it, but it definitely downloads a lot faster on the Switch, too. Now, this morning, I tried Mario Kart World, and it's great. It looks amazing. It runs smooth. There was no stutters or anything at all. I haven't got a chance to try out Pokemon Scarlet yet. I am excited to do that at some point today. It's a busy day for me. I got a lot of work to do. And just thinking about Switch 2. Born to play Switch 2. And also, I played Pokemon Unite because when it came to the experience for Pokemon Unite on the Switch, the menus were super laggy, and selecting your Pokemon before the match was laggy. The actual gameplay for Unite on the Switch 1 is great. It runs at 30 FPS in handheld and 60 docked on the Switch 1. And unfortunately, that is still the case on the Switch 2. It does still run at 30 FPS in handheld. I would imagine 60 FPS on the dock, because I didn't play it on the dock today yet. But the menus were a little less laggy, but not perfect. And hopefully they'll optimize that game in the future. I think that's probably what we're looking at here is software optimization for Pokemon Unite. Not that many people that watch this channel probably play that game, but that's a big deal for me because I love that game. Another great thing that I noticed, and I did capture some footage to kind of put over this part. Keep in mind all this footage is 1080p, 30 FPS. I did record the Soul Calibur in 60 FPS, 1080p, but I think this video will be saved in 30 FPS. So keep that in mind. But you'll see here with the eShop, that sucker does not lag, which was a huge pain in the ass on the Switch 1. And also, when you hover over games, a lot of them will either start their picture gallery or they'll start playing a trailer, which I think is a really nice touch. Everything is running buttery smooth on the Switch 2. It is a huge improvement. And then for me, that was the biggest improvement that I was looking forward to was just the overall smoothness and experience of navigating and playing Switch 1 games. Obviously, I'm excited about Switch 2 games as well. I did buy Bravely Default. I haven't got a chance to play that yet. I'm sure it'll run great since it's just a 3DS game ported over to the Switch 2. Also, redeeming the little icons and pictures and stuff is a lot faster. It's definitely a big improvement to the way you would do it on the Switch 1. If you guys do that kind of thing, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But, as far as the Switch 2 goes, and I know there's been a lot of butthurtedness and sour apples about a lot of things that Nintendo has done recently, but when you hold this thing in your hand and you play on it, you know that this thing is worth $450. Like, this is a premium gaming handheld. And of course, it had to have been more than the OLED. The OLED is $350. And this is a much more powerful and better experience. So obviously it has to be more expensive. All the haters that are making videos on the Switch 2 for the past month or two and talking mad shit about the Switch 2, I guarantee you that within a week, you're going to see a lot of these people coming out with videos saying, I was wrong about the Switch 2. And that's mostly because they want to get your clicks, right? Because they probably were just lying or putting on a show the whole time just for views. Because, bad press, especially on a Nintendo product, is going to get you a lot of views. So, yeah, I anticipate there will be a lot of I was wrong about the Switch 2. Now, I know there's still the game key card issue. Everybody's crying about that. It's like, dude, if you play PS5 and you play Series X, the majority of those games are not completely on the disc. Or if they are on the disc, there is a essential patch as soon as you pop the game in on day one that you have to get. So, complaining about the game key cards, the whole game's not on the cartridge, man. You need to stop thinking that way. And I know that's going to be hard for a lot of people. But what you really need to think about is playing the games and enjoying the games and judging the games based on the experience you get. Or, like whenever you look at the cartridge, I mean, it looks exactly the same. Now, this is a Switch 1 game. But, I mean, this is what a game key card looks like. It has the same little, chip on it and everything. I mean, there is no real difference. The only difference here is that Nintendo is being upfront about it and telling you, hey, not the entire game is on this little cartridge. You'll have to download it. And I know that people have been super butthurt about games not being completely on the cartridge, but it's 2025, man. The majority of people that are going to own a Nintendo Switch 2 are going to have the internet. In fact, most people that are thinking about buying a Switch 2 are probably watching YouTube videos to learn and see if it's something that they should, waste their time with or put their time and money into. So if you're on the internet watching this video right now, then you have no reason to complain about having to download a game. Unless you're just being a bitter asshole, okay? And then also, the Nintendo recently changed their terms of service that says if you try to alter their software, they have the right to break your system. I know there's a lot of people upset about that. And, understandably so. I get it. You think that when you own something that you 100% own it, and you have not came to the conclusion yet that you don't own everything that you have. And I know that's a controversial thing to say, but it is the truth that if you alter the software of a Nintendo Switch 2, which allows you to steal their games, yeah, they're going to brick your system. Now, maybe you're like, oh, I'm not going to steal the games. I just want to have custom backgrounds or other homebrew and stuff like that. Well, too bad, I guess. Do a Switch 1 instead. But, we're years out from any of that stuff happening on the Switch 2 anyway. So why get upset about something like that? I just think right now it's just easy to get upset with Nintendo. And that seems to be the popular take on YouTube. So, mob mentality, follow everybody else. But I'm telling you right now, dude, this thing, you need to get one. Okay? If you like the Switch 1 and you like Nintendo games, it's a no-brainer. And in fact, most of the people that do like Switch 1 and Nintendo games probably already bought one. So yeah, I think that's all I could say for my first impressions and kind of just airing out some grievances that I personally have. I'm sick and tired of all the negativity behind Nintendo's products. I understand that people have a right to feel the way they want to feel, and I can't really do much about that. But I am tired of hearing about all the negativity. I think that a lot of these people are feeling this way because someone else told them to, and they haven't firsthand experienced the system to make their own conclusions. We're going to do a lot of video game streams for this month of June, especially for the Switch 2. I did get a free early access code to a game called Bank Simulator on the PC, so I'll be streaming that as well. But tonight, I'm going to be streaming some Mario Kart. Unsure on the time yet, and by tonight I mean today, which is June 5th, 2025. So if you're watching this on the day that it releases, we are streaming that tonight. And we're going to be hitting up some other games during this week. Definitely going to pop in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, play that 4K 60. And Pokemon Scarlet. I'm not going to play through Scarlet because I've already beaten that one, and I beat Violet. I don't want to play through them again, but we'll definitely be on there doing some raids and some shiny hunting and just hanging out and celebrating the new console from Nintendo. But thank you guys so much for watching. And if I said anything in this video that you don't agree with and it made you upset, I do apologize. But these are just my personal opinions. I don't think that we should get that upset about a game system because it's only a small part of our daily lives. Oh yeah, by the way, I totally got on a rant topic and forgot to tell you how I feel about the Pro controller here. Now, this thing is super expensive, and that sucks. But this thing is amazing, and I cannot recommend it enough. I know it's expensive. The size of it, though, I have kind of small hands, but the size of it is fantastic. So I am definitely not regretting buying this either. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. See ya.